sure what you can see. Can we see? Yeah, we can see. It might be a little bit wibbly wobbly. It's a bit like me, wibbly wobbly. Okay. Right. Okay. The other thing I've forgotten to do is change. I usually change my chair for this because this chair squeaks a lot. So when you hear squeaking, it's not me. It's not my creaky bones. Okay. So, oh look, this desk looks pretty much like how my desk normally looks, doesn't it? So, yeah, a mess. I'm gonna wet me whistle. Not a euphemism. I am literally just going to wet my whistle, as in the whistle. Okay, so what have we got? Okay, so I'm going to talk about things that you can find around the place that you can turn into junk journaling ephemera. I'm not a big fan of going out and buying things specifically for you to decorate and layer up. There's loads out there that you can use. Go to charity shops, even when in your leisure time you can find things to make. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the thing that's been on my Facebook post most recently, is the journal that I made. Now, I've just recently made a journal out of one of these. This is a file folder, not fire folder. You wouldn't be able to contain any fire in this, so please don't try. It's a file folder, Dave. Get your words out. So this is a file folder, and I turned this into this, obviously with a few more extra things added onto it. Let's put that up there, Dave. Okay, so this is the file folder that I've most recently finished. It took me a week to do. I'm just going to have a quick flick through it so that you can have a look and see what I've been doing. I'm also going to do some tutorials on making this. So I'm not going to linger. I'm not going to linger longer than I need to. Linger longer than I need to. Okay. Things are going through my head now. So yeah, this is basically a file folder, bit of fabric, bit of cardboard, bit of everything. I created my own sellotape. I made it look like it was sellotape and made it look like it'd been around a while. Stuck a label on. I think this is a Tracy Fox label. This is an embossed circle using one of these. These are Jordan seals. You can find them on eBay. They're historic things. People don't use them anymore. Bit of an old, not even a ribbon. It's just one of those things that's been tied around a bit of clothing. It's a medium. I am not. And then we've just got some like flippy, pulley outy, like little file folders. I'm going to do a bit of a tutorial on making this at some point. Like this particular element of it. And then kind of building it as a series, maybe. If that's something you're into, on how to make this, then it's got another flippy out thing. You might have recognised this. We made Polaroid things. So it's just got a little card in there. These just flip out bits with pockets, etc. here and there. Okay, don't labour it, Dave. Everybody wants to see this going on forever. So yeah, so this is one of the things that. So some of those elements you've already seen and we've already made together, and I'm kind of not being able to get your words out. Kind of building it into a bit of a series. Using envelopes. So like, don't go out and buy stuff. You will get bills, or if you don't get bills yourself, somebody in your house will. Then this isn't finished. This is just a flip out thing, but it's actually made from an envelope. Okay, so we're going to talk about envelopes shortly. So that just sits in a pocket. Then we're moving on. This is another flip. I'll come back to that in a minute. We've got a little tuck pocket here. We've got this here. More of that sellotape. Like just a little note card in there. A tuck pocket here. Then we've got a magnetic concertina file there. And this is something else that we've made together. Well, similar, we made a slide. It's just a journal card thing. Little tuck pocket there. This is just a little concertina file, note card. Pop that in there. I'm a fan of using things, making it look like, you know, it's been there around a while, somebody's had to glue it back together and all of that. We've got a little, what are they called? Tag in there. And then, yeah, it just folds together and we just tie it up. So, okay, so that was something that I have been working on. That's just taken me a week to do that. And I am probably going to set myself up an Etsy and sell these things, because otherwise they just accumulate. So I'm putting that over there. Okay, so that's making something out of a file folder. So don't go out and have to buy that really expensive craft paper that, you know, if you can't afford it, don't. Spend the money on the things that make the difference. Spend the money on the good glue. Spend the money on, you know, the nice brushes. Oh, by the way, these are really popular at the minute. These soft brush type things. Oh, it's got a bit of glue on it, Dave. It's not quite so soft now. These are really popular at the minute for inking edges and that sort of thing. These are also the same. These are from Home Bargains. These are makeup brushes. And this is also a makeup brush. This is from Wilkinson's. Stop obsessing about that bit on there. Okay, so yeah, so don't go out and spend. I've seen these on crafty places, and I've seen them for one. I saw one, it's branded with a well-known brand. I saw it for £15. Don't spend £15. I think that was like, I can't remember, Brian bought it me about £3. Anyway, and the packet of these, packet of 3, found these yesterday. Just the same thing, you know, they're just soft brushes, they're makeup brushes. These were £2.99 in Home Bargains. So don't go out and spend loads of money on the things that don't matter. Spend the money on the, you know, the right kind of the ink, or, you know, your gesso, or things that really are going to make a difference to your life. Okay, so moving on. Okay, envelopes. Another tutorial that I'm going to be doing, I think, is turning these things, so not just the new ones, we've got new ones, you know, when like you've bought a birthday card and then you've written it and then it's wrong. I mean, I don't know if this happens to you, maybe it's because I've got terrible writing, but I'll write it or spelling, and I'll spell something wrong and then I have to get rid of it and start again and end up with an extra envelope. Also, I used to be a card maker, so I've got loads of envelopes left over from that. You know, these giant ones. But bill envelopes, so billing envelopes like those ones that you saw in my little file folder, all of those you can turn into things like this. So this is another little flip out journal-y thing. All of this is made, except for the decoration, is made from envelopes. Okay, so you can absolutely turn something that's relatively nothing into something really nice. Or you could, if you really don't like it, you know, it might have had a mark on it or whatever, completely cover it. This is just a covered envelope that I have decorated up. So again, I'm gonna do a bit of tutorial on using envelopes for things. That's obviously if you're open to this. If you're not, then I'd be doing it on my own, wouldn't I? So that's those. What else? What else we're going to talk about? So we'll come back to these in a minute, because these are bags, and I'll come to those because that's what we're going to do today. These, well, you know what I'm saying about your leisure time? Absolutely, in your leisure time, you know, you might go to the pub or a restaurant or whatever, and in the UK, you often have one of these lying on the. Oh, this has got somebody's telephone number on it. I don't know whose number that. Nobody gave me their number on a beer mat. I'll turn it over just for the sake of. I don't know who it is. I bought these off eBay. I don't go to pubs and things. I've just bought them off eBay. But if you go to a pub, you probably sat there and like peeled it apart, or like, you know, torn it up, or, you know, been playing games with it. Well, instead of doing that, pick them up, pop them in your bag. You know, I'm not encouraging, you know, theft from a pub. But you can get lots of them and you can turn them into things like this. So this is absolutely, literally just a beer mat. So it's basically a beer mat turned over. It's like and for those people that don't know what beer mats are, they're just basically coasters. They're paper coasters. They're made extra thick so they kind of soak up the juice. Anybody that's been in a pub till late at night, or the beer mat has become like this kind of soggy, like a rusk by the end of the day. Got really thick. Rusks? What am I talking about, rusks? Anyway. So yeah, turned into this, or just turned into this. So completely gessoed over, and then covered up. I didn't like the image on it. It was a speech bubble that I just poked I cut an information eye out of it, not a Q. It's not a QI, Dave. So turning them into turning beer mats into something a bit more pretty. And then how about something like this? Okay, so magazines, books. Let's move that over there. So this is out of a magazine. These are book pages. This is another book page. You could use music sheets or whatever. So turning them into, sticking them together and turning them into little envelopes. Lots of different types of envelopes. You recognise this because it's that, basically. And then, you know, doing my classic decoupage thing on it. Or maybe an old map. Not many people use maps anymore, you know. We all use, you know, satellite navigation stuff and that kind of thing. So all of those old maps are still out there in charity shops, and you can go and buy them for 10 a penny. Maybe not 10 a penny. Maybe 10 for £1. Actually, I think the last one I bought was 25p. And one of those big AA road atlas things. Turn them into little envelopes. Why not? You know, you're using it up. You're being good for the environment, recycling. Some old music paper, again, turned into an envelope. Another map, just kind of coloured up this time to make it a bit different. Another envelope. This one is oh, yeah, there you go. There's another envelope there. Okay, or you could actually just turn it into a tuck pocket. Glue it down, turn it into a tuck pocket. It's an old book page. Or, how about... Oh, sorry, there's another one there. Or, how about this? This came from a magazine. It's actually from, if I'm honest, it's last year's Boots catalogue. Okay, Christmas Boots catalogue. It's made of paper. It's not that shiny, glossy stuff, so you don't have to mat it back or anything. And I've just turned it into an envelope. Okay, sewed it down the sides. I have a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, hand sew it. If you don't have, you know, if you're no good at hand sewing, maybe this will help you practice. I like a few extra strings, by the way. Maybe just use a pen and mark it. Maybe a bit of faux stitching. So faux stitching, for those that don't know, I'm not including this in the video, but I will just give you a bit of a demo of faux stitching. Faux stitching is literally that. That's faux stitching. Why don't you do that down the side? It'll look like it's sewn together. So stop throwing things away. Oh dear. We've created monsters, haven't we? We hoard enough as it is, but you should see what my house is like. And then there's this. So this is what we're going to cover today. Okay, you're still with me? People, are you all gone? Are you all like yawning and tired and fell asleep by now? This bit, by the way, is to stop you getting super glare from the light above me. So these are gift bags. Okay. They're quite pretty, actually. You know, they're from Home Bargains as well. But gift bags, okay. You might have gone to a party and got a gift bag, if you're 5, maybe, or stolen it off your grandchild or your child or whatever. No, I'm not encouraging stealing from children. Okay, I will just say. All right. So these now, when you get to my age and everything starts falling off, you end up having to go to the pharmacy and getting things that's basically medical glue to glue things back on. So these are not, the expiry date on the, oh damn it, oh no, 16th of May. I haven't eaten a cookie like this for a long time. But these cookie bags, donut bags not so good because they end up being very greasy. But these cookie bags, they're great. You know, those more of the. Obviously picked up less in a prescription. Look, Tesco pharmacy. There's the theme. I'm not advertising Tesco, although I do use their glue sticks. So turning this into this, all I did, it had a natural scallop on the end, so I cut it down, turned it into a bit more of a bag rather than an envelope. If you can hear grumbling in the background, I will just point out, Worcester is currently on guard in the bedroom, growling at all the neighbours. Well, not the neighbours, it's the neighbours with the dogs. Okay. This is just one of these, just glued down and turned into a bit more of a tuck pocket. He's going to come in and tell me all the troubles now. So. Shush! Yeah, so this is one that I've made, so I'll come to that in a minute. So this is, oh look, this is that Sainsbury's oatmeal bag. So this is literally, it's got a theme here. I obviously like the oatmeal and raisin ones. Just turning this into this. So just think outside the box, people. This is a magazine that I've turned into a bag. This is actually just one of those gusseted bags that I've glued the gusset down for. This is making one from glassine, and then this is just this is actually just a brown paper bag that I've made into glassine. Now that's another thing I'll come to at some point. Okay, so what we're going to have a look at today is we're going to have a look at these bags, if you're happy to, obviously. So, what we're going to do. Okay, now these are the bags that are already made. I would suggest if you can use these, then use it. Why reinvent the wheel if you don't have to? However, if you want to make it out the book pages, then here's one I made earlier. Well, actually, here's one Brian gave me the measurements for, because I asked him to do it last night. He was here last night crafting with me, and so I asked him to do it. Thanks, Brian. I owe you one. Okay, so this is a standard A4 sheet of paper. Okay, you can make a gusseted bag out of these measurements. Okay, the only thing I will add to it is you'll have to add a triangle here and a line here, which is going to be a fold. Okay, so using this template, you can make these bags. This one is actually made out of an A3 size. This is just making it out of, excuse me, well, my name's not Russell, but I'm going to be Russell for now. There you go. This is just making it out of a piece of tracing paper. Why not? You're using the things that you've got around you. Okay. Basically, this is, you can turn this into a faux glassine. This is exactly using, sorry, it's got a bit of ink on it. Like everything, probably my elbow, my hands, face as well. So this is just using that template on an A3. So all you need to do is then scale it up. Okay, so rather than making one on camera, I've got one here that I disassembled. Okay, and basically all you're going to do is, this is exactly the same template as that. Okay, so if you look at this, we've got this bit. This is, well, this is a triangle, but I've got a square here. Sorry, it's a triangle here. Oh, those are the squares. Okay, I'm making myself, my head implode now. I'm going to move that out of the way. And all this does is, all you're going to do is you're going to fold each of those hard folds up. You're going to put it together. Now, I will do this on camera when my brain is working properly. Okay, so I might add it to the post later on. I am really sorry, but my brain just isn't going to be able to compute this at the moment. Especially because I didn't prep. I did tell you at the start I didn't prep for today. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't prep today. I don't know why I'm singing in such a high-pitched voice. Anyway, I'll also post the measurements. Yes, I think Rachel Harris has just popped up and said, would you post the measurements? I will indeed post the measurements. I will post a picture of that template, of said template. So I'm going to be really cheeky and cheat, and I am going to do this at a later date. Like I say, basically it all comes together and you kind of freeze the fold. I will do it, I promise. Just not now. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this one, okay? So first thing, so if you're using, I would suggest use up the bags that you've already got. You know, every time you go to the pharmacy, keep hold of these. Every time you go to the bakery, which is clearly, you know, don't go very often. I'm not going now. I'm back at Slimming World. I lost £12 this week. Not in money. Please don't help me find it. I've had a lot of offers. Thank you. Yeah, £12 as in weight pounds this week. So I am doing pretty well this well, maybe not this week. So don't worry about anything sticky, okay? It really doesn't matter. What you need to now do is decide how you're going to use this bag, because you could of course have it as let me get a piece of paper. It's an envelope. You could of course have it so that it sits around a page. Much easier if I show you on something that looks more like a page, Dave. Let's use this. So if this was a journal, it'd be a giant journal. It's a giant journal. You could have it sitting around a page, so you have it so like a bit of a tab. So you have to decide before you start sticking bits down how you're going to use it, okay? And also decide which way round it's going to go, because obviously you don't want to decorate the images and then, if you've got a person on it, you don't want them being on the side looking like they're having a bit of a snooze. So decide how you're going to have it. How you're going to have it. You're going to have it as a, like I say, a thing here. You could have it, you could glue it down these sides and have it a tuck here with an opening here, or you could take it off there, and you could put it on there, and you could have it as a corner tuck with a pocket, or you could have it so it's in the middle of the page with two tucks either side. You know, decide how you're going to have it. I'm going to have it this way up. Actually, no, I'm going to use this time. Will I see it? No, I'm not going to see it, so I'm not going to worry about too much about that. I'm going to have it this way. I was thinking if the window was a bit further up, you could, of course, fold it over here and you're using the window as something, okay? But you're not going to be able to see it anyway, so what I'll do is I'll do it this way and decorate the back as well, so that maybe we have it as a fold-out page in a journal. I've just moved that and I'm just worried that you're going to get suddenly blinded by the light. Okay, no, singing. No singing, Dave. Shush. Have a drink. Really hot. Okay, so decide how you're going to have it, and I'm going to have it like this. Now, if you're going to have a tuck pocket in the top, I really suggest that you take a finger hole out of it. Now, if anybody that's ever tried to do this with just a single layer of paper, you'll find that these punches are really, sometimes they do it and sometimes they see how they mash the edge of it. Now, the way to get around the mashing of the edge is to find another piece of paper or a piece of card or summit. Find summit. Doesn't have to be terribly thick, and just basically layer it over the top. Yeah, this is great because I can just use this sticky bit to keep it in place. Kind of gauge your middle. I'm not a big measurer. And then use the two layers and it'll snip and give you a much crisper cut, he says, and it's not even doing it now. There you go. So just layer it up a bit more then. Dave, that's the answer. Live telly and all that, you know. Live telly. So layer it all. You know, when things don't work for me, it just means that you can go, oh yeah, okay, fine. It doesn't work for him either. So because I'm not special, you know. Line it up and then clippity clip, and it just comes out nicely. Then you get a much nicer. That's from where I cut it last time. Get a much nicer cut out of it, indentation. Right, okay, so how am I going to do this? Now, I have decided I'm going to have it as a flip out, okay, which means that I'm going to glue these bits down and turn this bit into a pocket, okay. So I'm going to decorate the back, I'm going to decorate the front, okay. Are you with me? Most people still here? If you've fallen asleep, okay. You haven't fallen asleep, clearly, because I'm too noisy. People don't get much sleep in this house. Talking of not getting much sleep, I did say at the start I didn't get very much sleep last night because the local foxes decided to have a bit of a party outside my house last night. It wasn't the foxes having the party that was the issue. It was the fact that Worcester wasn't invited that was the issue, because he was not terribly impressed with them. He was not terribly impressed, and they still didn't invite him, even though he grumbled. He also wasn't particularly happy about only having 9/10 of the bed. You know, you've got a king-size bed, and you know when you have to share it with a dog that, you know, you kind of have to know that you don't have your half, you get your whatever you're allowed, and you end up sleeping right on the edge. And that's what I was doing last night. So now I've glued those bits down. I'm just going to wait for them to, and that will create me a bit of a tucky, shallow pocket here. Okay. It will also give me, I can use these sides as tucks, although if I'm going to have it flipping out, I'm not going to. I'm going to glue this one down because that's less for me to decorate. I'll just put my glue down, Dave. Get a grip, get your act together. So basically all I'm doing is I'm gluing down the gusset. Now I'm really sorry, but I know there are some people who flinch at the word gusset. It is called a gusset. I cannot do anything about that. You can call it the fold or whatever, but, you know, it's a gusset. I don't know what it is about people. It's like that other word that begins with M. Some people can't cope with that. So don't put the two together. If you're not quite sure what I mean, I'll talk about it. I separated it from the two. Dave, please don't get me started. I now think all I've got in my head is the two words linked together. Okay. So just gluing those down, okay, and that means then when I have it as a flippy thing, I'm not having an open gusset here. I'm sorry, stop saying that word, Dave. Stop. Okay, so my brain is like kind of all like firing now. Oh, I've just given myself like a head rush then. Can't even find the thing to put the pin in. Oh, blimey, it took my thumb out then. Okay. They need laser guidance, those things. So there you go. I've glued that bit down. So now what I'm going to do is decorate this bit first. Okay, so how am I going to decorate it? Well, I'm going to be really free and easy. Just get some old book pages. Now, I love when books get fragile like this, yeah, and you don't want to read them, or you find them in charity shops quite often like this. Don't worry about the fragility of it, because as long as you're not using it, so don't try and make one of those envelopes out of this, because once you sew down this side, it'll just fall apart. All the bits will just peel off. This is really fragile. You can tell when you kind of bend it, it doesn't bend. It kind of cracks. Can you see that? So these don't tend to be favoured by crafters. However, they're great for the bits that you don't really see. If it cracks up a bit, and then it's a bit like me, I know how it feels. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold the page a little bit, just get rid of that edge. I don't know why I'm folding it when I could actually use... Right, I was going to cut it with a blade, and then I realised I have my guillotine here. Off with your head! Oh no, wrong video. I'm available for weddings, funerals and bar mitzvahs. I will just point out. So I'm just going to cut that bit off. Okay. And I'm going to put that down there. It just adds a bit of point of interest. Yeah, I'm just going to glue that in there. That'll go in nicely. I'm not going to worry about this bit at the moment. Okay, the overhang. I'm going to glue it in there. Now, it's fiddly. Don't get me wrong, it's fiddly. But you know what? It all adds to the fun, doesn't it? So, which way shall I have it up? I will have it. Which way shall I have it? I'll have it that way up. Why am I singing? No, I'm going to have it that way. To my father, it says on it. No. Now you're all thinking, oh no, he's covering the bird up. I liked the bird. Yes, but we can't have every video that I ever do featuring a bird. So, red bird! Stuck in my head from the last time. Okay, so all you need to do is butt it up to this crease line here. These feel slightly wax papery, these bags, but they still glue nicely. Don't worry about it too much. You know, if it needs an extra layer of glue or whatever, then it needs an extra layer of glue. Okay, so sticking that into there. I've got a little bit here that isn't covered, so get a bit more book page. I'm not going to worry about all of this overhang at the moment. I just don't want you to kind of panic about the overhang. That's why I go to Slimming World, because of the overhang. So, just going to put this into there. I don't know whether anybody's still watching. Are you still watching? I do sometimes think, oh no, nobody's going to be watching this, because I'm terribly boring at times, you know. Although I'm terribly boring, I am terribly entertaining. I entertain myself quite a lot, but not with any kind of purpose. I told you it's car crash TV today, so it's just how my brain fires. My brain's just constantly going, this idea, this idea, this idea. This is why I don't sleep very much. So, okay, so don't lose your finger. Pop that down there. And then I'm going to do again with this gusset here. I'm going to. Oh, I've got some words down here. What have I got? Prognosticate. Prognosticate. I did know what that meant, but I can't. Don't ask me to tell you what it means now. Alexa, what does prognosticate mean?
As an adjective, prognostic is usually defined as of or relating to or forecasting of the probable course and outcome of a disease, especially of the chances of recovery. As a noun, prognostic is usually defined as a forecast or prediction. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for prognostic.
No, thanks, Alexa, because this is my show, not yours. So there you go. She's told you. She's terribly useful sometimes, although sometimes I do end up having to shout at her when she doesn't listen to what I'm saying. And then Brian makes fun of me like it's like my errant child, so doesn't listen. A bit like my dog, really, doesn't listen to me. So I'm just going to stick that down there. Okay, so we've got all of these sticky out edges. What are you going to do with them? You're going to glue them down. That's what you're going to do with them. Why waste it? Okay, so no, sorry. I'm sorry. I you know, sometimes I just forget that you're there. And then, okay, so we've got a window here. Okay, it's covering the window. Now, I much prefer that. I much prefer it to have a bit more of an organic feel to my window. So when you look at the, wherever I put it, my journal that I made that I showed you at the start, when you look at this, the windows to my soul. I like them to have like a you know, I don't mind the old, you know, squared off one, but I like them to have a bit more of an organic feel. So when you put things into there, so when you put your book page in there, okay, you can see that it kind of like, you don't see it all, And I like that. I just think it makes it look a bit, and also if it's too round, like that round circle cut in a bag, it looks like, it'll always look like somebody will go, oh, is that one of those cookie bags that Dave made on that live? So, do you know what happens? You know when you're doing a live, okay, and you're doing this live video and you're trying to entertain the nation and give you all tips and ideas, you see the number. I keep looking at the number of people that are watching, and I keep thinking, oh no, it's going up and it's going down, and it's like, I'm just going to rip this so that I can kind of use that pocket. It's going up and it's going down, and like, you know, people have got bored and they stop watching, and you can become a bit obsessed. So my advice to you is, don't even look at how many people are watching. See, like I said that, and like literally 6 of you disappeared. So it's like, okay, now that we've been discovered, we're off. Bye. Okay, so we've got a nice bit of a gusset. You've got a bit of a orange line down there. Nobody's really going to look into that bit there, but if they do, why not grab a nice bit of washi tape? Now, I know that I am not the only crafter in the world that has bought washi tape and hasn't really used any of it. Okay, so if you're going to get it in, if you're going to get into a fold, I would suggest you fold it before you put it in the fold. It makes it easier to get it in. Okay, and then you can fold it up and put it in, and then just put that in there. Now I've bought loads of washi tape due to my love of paper chase, I guess, and I bought washi tape until it comes out of my ears, but don't really use it. I use it for sticking things down, but it's hardly using this for sticking things down when you can use something plain like this for sticking things down. That's a bit daft, really, isn't it? So there you go. So I've got rid of that orange gusset, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this bit off here. Now, I realise that I don't have a terrible amount of time. Let's not worry about that. Let's just cut it with a pair of scissors. I shouldn't have waffled so much this morning. Earlier, shouldn't I? Just going to cut that bit off there. Okay. So, what else am I going to do? So let's just stick it with some more stuff that I have. So I've got a bit of cardboard here, and oh, I quite like both sides of that actually. So maybe have that in that corner. So I am going to tear this off here, and I know you can see a bit of the brown bag, but I will cover that up with a bit of book page. When I find my book pages, there you go. Bit of book page. Cut it off, Dave. Where have I got the trimmer? Here. For cutting this old type book stuff, I will say I prefer a guillotine. If you use one of the ones that has where the blade drags across, we'll get mine for you. So one of these. You sometimes find, I don't know whether it will now, you'll sometimes find that see, my blade's all right, but yeah, I don't know whether you can see that. You get like a bit of a fluffy edge. Now, if you're trying to put it up against a straight line, it's not going to help you. So, where's my bag? There it is. My brain's all over the place. I am so sorry, folks. Yeah, this is not what you tuned in for, is it? It's just one of them days. We all have off days, don't we? Okay, am I leaning into camera? Are you all looking at the top of my bald head? I should sell this space for advertising. I could have like Coca-Cola emblazoned on the top of my head, and every time I leant forward, people go, oh, I really fancy a Coke. So there are other drinks available, I will just say. Coca-Cola is not the only drink. And actually, I don't drink Coca-Cola. Shock horror, don't drink Coca-Cola. I prefer the other one, Pepsi. There are other drinks available too. So I'm just going to put that on there, so that when I put this on here, it's just a bit nicer. I'm going to also, don't like a white edge. You might do. I don't personally. So I'm going to get my trusty stains out. And I'm going to ink up my brush, and I am just going to apply this. I like a brush on this kind of stuff because when you've peeled it, the edge will naturally separate and you get all the fibres sticking up, and it just catches the fibres nicely. You might find it gets too dark. If you're using a sponge applicator, so either one of these, perhaps yours isn't quite as dirty as that, or one of these, you might find that it gets darker and darker and darker, but doesn't really penetrate into the white bits in the background, whereas this does because it's got bristles on a brush. I really love the feel of that. Too much information. Alone time with Dave and his brush. I don't use them on my head, clearly, because I don't have any hair. So yeah, I also liked that, so I might use that there. I don't want it squared off though. Yeah, I think I'm going to have it there. I'll knock this back a bit. This looks just too white for me. You might like it like that, but I don't. So remember, these nice and cheap. Don't go and spend a fortune on them. I've also seen them on that Chinese site that you can buy cheap stuff from. Don't buy clothes from there because they come there only this size. Literally, some of them are only this size. I need a drink. I will just say it's only water. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on there. Before you decide, before you commit, do a bit of placing. I'm happy with that bit of. You see how there's a bit of this paper in the background? I'm happy with that there. I might just give it a bit of a go over, give it a bit more of an edge. But I'm happy for it to stay there. Don't worry about these things up here. I'll trim them off later. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to put these on. I might have something else there. What else do I have? Quite liked this stuff that I used in my book journal. This is a great way to use up all of those 12 by 12 papers that you've probably bought, or card in this case, that you've bought in the past. No, it's too. Just something about that. Just too not organic enough for me. No, not happy. You know what? Just sometimes you're just not happy. I don't know whether that happens to you, but sometimes you're just not happy. Sorry, while I just lean away from the camera a moment. Some alone time. I need some alone time. I'm going to sing and you're going to be not careful. Here we go. Let's have a bit of this. Let's tear that off at the bottom. Oh dear. So, just going to put that down there. Maybe that. Oh, the canoeing manual. I once went canoeing. I capsized. It put me off for life. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. So, yeah, layer it up. You don't have to, like, commit and glue it down. You can just layer it up and see what you like. Use a bit of book page to glue on. Okay, you're not going to see the canoeing thing anyway, so put that on there. You're not going to do, you're going to do your own thing. You're not going to do my thing. Please don't copy me. Do your own thing. I mean, like, you can copy me, but, like, you've got more in you than copying me. You're all very crafty. So, pop that on there. Do I want that on the top? Yes, I do. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I'm asking you. You're terrible at telling me. You might tell me on the comments, but I can't hear you. So I'm going to put that on there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah. an hour just isn't long enough. I just don't feel like I get to do my thing in an hour. Don't like that. Not with that. I do like it, don't get me wrong, I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh, I would quite like to I might give that a go. Okay, so I'm going to tear it. Sorry, I'm one of those kind of people that just does all of this like on camera. You probably think, oh, I've had all of this prepared. I could have done, and then it's not. But then it's not organic, and it's not what I do as a crafter. So I'm not gonna be able to glue this and tuck this inside this pocket because this is glued on this edge. So you're gonna kind of have to take a bit of a snippet out of it there. Pull that up so that you can get that in. Yeah. Go a bit further down. Hopefully this is making sense to you. Oh look, the sun's come out. Thank goodness. It's too late now for me washing though, isn't it? It's too late. Oh, that all had to go in the tumble dryer yesterday. So, I think it was yesterday, I don't know. It's like this week has just gone in the blink of an eye. I was going to say in the snap of an eye, but hopefully your eyes aren't snapping. Okay, bit of that off there. Stop talking. You've stopped talking, Dave. Okay. Put that in there. Give it a wiggle. Give it a wiggle and it'll go. And then just line your edges up. Yeah. Pop that down. I'm gonna take that bit off there. Just rip it. Like I say, it just makes it feel a bit more organic if it's ripped. Oh, don't you just hate that when your beard gets in your mouth, when your moustache gets in your mouth? Well, as the majority of you are female, you probably don't know what I mean. But it's right up my nose now. TMI. Soften that edge down. Okay. Get off me. Leave me alone. That's me, Mum. So I'm picking a bit of this pink out of here. I quite like this, and I'm just going to give this more of an edge. Pop that in there. Yeah. Don't like that. Do I like that? Yeah, I do. I'm just going to. Now where? Oh, there. Now where is that? It's here. That's very good. So yeah, I like these brushes. So they give I will say they give a softer thing. If you're just doing it on paper, they give a much softer edge to it. You won't get the same depth of colour from this. Or you will do if you do it for over a long period of time, but you won't get the same depth of colour that you would do from a dauber. Okay, or one of those little sponge eggs. I actually call it Mork. So I don't know whether people remember Mork and Mindy, but like, didn't he live in an egg? And we're just showing my age. You're all going, no, Mork and Mindy. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm far too young. Leah will be saying exactly that. I don't remember Mork and Mindy. No, you won't do. You might watch it. I might watch it on reruns. I don't know whether it reruns. It was good enough for a rerun. So, trusty glue stick from Tesco's. Again, I want them to, they need to start sponsoring me and then sending it to me for free. I do like their glue stick. I was going to say gun, but it's not. It's a glue stick. So I'm going to pop that in there. Again, just line it up a bit. Okay. And then at the risk of it being too organic, I might have that in there. tearing paper that has been glued. It's not easy, you know, folks. There's no one to give it to either. There you go. I'll put that there. That's already gluey, so it's sticking whether I want it there or not. Oh, sticky! It's getting sticky! What time are we on? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 3:51 p.m.
There you go. It's 3:51, folks. Today's video is not sponsored by Amazon or Coca-Cola or Tesco at that matter. Okay. So, don't be afraid to mix your medias. Well, you know what mixed media is. Some of you do a lot more mixed media than I do. But, like, honestly, don't be afraid to mix things up. So, like, for instance, maybe having a bit of fabric on this. So, if you are don't cut fabric if you can't. If you can, just cut a snip at the top and then give it a rip. Bit of a crafty rip. Okay, and then fray off those edges. It makes it look much older than it is. Okay, so I'm going to have that on there. I think it covers it a little bit though, doesn't it? Might have it. Let's cut it down. Let's tear it down a bit. Quite like that. Okay, so this again looks too new for me. I like to knock everything back, take the edge off it. I might use tea dye actually. I'm not worried about cross-contamination of my brush. That's just me, maybe. You might be purists and be like, oh, no, he's just used vintage photo and gathered on tea dye. Maybe you're not saying it like that because you know you're not a muppet, are you? Yeah, so I just liked it. I like it being a bit darker, if you know what I mean, like less new looking. I like it to look like it's been around a while. Okay, when I'm gluing fabric, I'll always use Fabri-Tac. Again, I'm not sponsored by Fabri-Tac. However, if they'd like to, you can. I wouldn't say no. Stick a bit on the end. I love this Fabri-Tac. It smells nice as well. Although, you know, if you've never used it and you get it and you'd smell it and you'd be like, what? I'm not a glue sniffer. I just like some fragrances you just really like. You know, like petrol and creosote. Oh well, I used to like creosote. I don't like it now. I don't know. The recipe's changed. I'll never have that recipe again. That's another song, and I'm not going to sing it because, you know, you've all been traumatised. Too much as it is. So I'm just going to cut those bits off. Any bits that you're not happy with, cut them off. Any bits that you think need a bit of an ink, give them a bit of an ink. So yeah, this for edges is better than this because the bristles split and they just go either side of the, and they just sit either side, whereas that doesn't. Okay, so that's that. What time are we on? 5 minutes. Okay, this is clearly not going to get finished, is it? So I might add, I don't know, shall I add this on it? Yeah, might have that on there. I might have a bit of a word or two. Maybe collector of memories. Can't put that back where it was because it'll take me longer than 5 minutes to actually find a space for it now. Everything's fallen down on my shelf. Stick that on there. I'll stick it on properly after I come off there. Okay. Oh, Dave today just gone super quick. Oh look, I've got it all over my finger now. I promise next week we'll be a bit more focused. And next week, I'm just reaching through camera. I'm really sorry that I'm doing this. Now you are definitely seeing the top of my head. Next week, we're going to do this. We're going to do an envelope flippy out, something along these lines. Okay, using envelopes. Okay. On here, I'm just going to stick. I think I'm going to stick that on there. I like that. Oh, that's got stuck there by accident, and I actually quite like it, so I'm going to leave it where it is. I use all my book pages, use my gluey ones. I fold them over and turn them into other things. Stick that on there. I might have a bit of this. Behind it. I'll glue this down afterwards, folks. I'll kind of semi-glue it now because I'm going to have to use fabric tack for that. And I might just put, let's get a people one. Oh, everything collapsed. It's like avalanche now. Avalanche. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely no thought to the choice of those people involved. No thought whatsoever. There you go. They've got something to stand on. I don't like it when people float in the air. Well, because you don't see people floating in the air. Maybe that's the reason why you don't like it, Dave. Get rid of, dull off those edges, those white edges. They, you know, if you want to keep them, then keep them. But I like them dulled off. It's much easier to do before it goes on. Although, you know, I've been there. I've done that and put them on and then thought, oh, blimey, how am I going to do that? Now they're stuck down. And if you get this kind of like, you'll get a bit of halo effect. So these brushes are great for that because you can just soften that halo up. And make that a bit more, maybe look a bit more sepia-like. Sepia? Don't know why I say it like that. Sepia? You still with me? Oh, cool, folks. Thanks. Thanks, folks. You're still here. Oh, no, Dave. My desk's as messy as it normally is now, so. Honestly, an hour goes so quickly. It was the same when I was doing Hachanda, because like that hour just goes really well. Like really quickly. Make sure that their limbs are glued down. Everybody wants a bent leg. So I'm just going to use that line as like something to sit on. Don't mind that his foot goes a bit further down. You see, it's just standing on that line bit. I'm going to put a bit of fabric tack down on this. Do this on camera, Dave. Or don't do this on camera, Dave. One or the other. This is just a bit of old. Do you know what it is? It's a bit of an old bandage. That's what it is. So it's just a bit of old bandage. I just tea dyed it. That's all I did with it. I like tea dyeing. I like eco dyeing and all sorts of things. Coffee staining, that sort of thing. Okay, so I've obviously yet to decorate more of it. But you know, all I've done is I've turned that Sainsbury's oatmeal bag into a tuck pocket. We've got somewhere to tuck something in there. We've got a gusset here that actually, if I glued it down there, that would become also a tuck. But you've also got a pocket in the top here. And I realised that I've cut that divot out and didn't actually use it in the end. So there you go. So that's what we've done. So that was today. So that was us having a look at, remember we just used just recycling these kind of things, these gusseted bags. Most chemists have a gusseted bag. You all want me to stop using that word now, don't you? It's going to make me laugh again. So next week we're going to have a look at the envelopes. So just using envelopes for different things. And if anybody wants me to show you any kind of, you know, if you want me to do a tutorial on this, if you want me to do a tutorial on how I kind of went about making this and, you know, tips and techniques and that sort of thing, then it's going to be more of a series. Let me know if that's what you want. If you don't want me to do it, I absolutely don't mind. You know, I'm happy to share my crafty knowledge or not. I really don't mind. But thank you very much. I really do appreciate those people, you hardcore followers of mine that, you know, like what I do, and follow what I do and watch my videos and that sort of thing. I do genuinely love you all. I'm kind of overrunning now. I honestly love people. I love all types of people, every walk of life of people, especially crafty people. And we need a bit more diversity in the crafting world. I will just say we do need more diversity of all kinds of diversity. And I love you all until you give me a reason not to. So thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. Go out there, get a bit of fresh air, top up your vitamin D, gives you more energy to craft. So, mwah, mwah, big kisses, massive hug. And I will go with my singing. Must have picked this up from Brian, the singing. So you all have a lovely day. Take care. This is what we made. And I will go. I'm off. Well, I'm not, because I've got to press stop now. Okay. Bye, folks. Where's the stop button? Finish.